So I've been really focusing on getting the first book finished. And my process is absolutely not linear at all. Like it is spiral, deeper, not out of control, but a spiral deeper. I kind of consider it like I'm casting the net all the time and seeing what I pick up. And then whatever I pick up, it goes into different parts of the book. And so I have many documents. I have a document for each book, and I have a document called Existential Brain Dump, and I have a document called Master List of all the links for Vale's Edge. And I have a document for music and recordings and places where I dump scenes that haven't been placed in the books yet, that's 200 pages long. So it's a lot of stuff going on. And there's life. And there are things that seem to be distractions for me when I sit down to write. But the way I see it is if something is in my awareness, I can discern whether or not that's a distraction or something that I need to pay attention to that will not take me away from the work and the stories and the coloration of them and bringing them to life, but maybe deepening some kind of understanding or some revelation or even just a really unique detail that would work its way into the piece itself, so into the stories and even the language that I'm using. And sometimes it's a reminder of things that I may have forgotten to weave in or put together. Like, where was this character at this time? Oh, I can't forget that. And maybe the imagery wasn't coming to me for a specific concept that I was exploring. So, it might come to me by something that another artist has created, or a video, or a movie, or a piece of music. Something, that I experienced just being out in life, and sometimes I have to let that go, like all of the creation mode, and just be, for a time and let that creation just come to life when it's ready. It's like some things need to gestate, some things need to be conceived of first. So, all of those things, you'd think that there's a straight line between the conception of something to its birth and then ultimate, I guess, connection with the rest of the world. But it's not really that way. It's like there can be cycles of that happening at all times, in different areas. And sometimes we jump into the middle, or it's not necessarily cyclical, although it does seem like this sort of circle, this cyclical, but it's certainly not linear. It's both. The linear can interrupt that cycle, and the cycle can contain, that linearity. Okay, so before I get off too much on a tangent, this morning I like to use the word unfurling. People who know me know that. Unfurling into my day. And I wasn't really letting myself unfurl. I thought, well, I better just have a shower quickly, and I'm gonna just kind of awaken myself and not get, sit in my house coat and contemplate so much. I'll just, I was wanting to listen to some music, and but it was during this space or this time of day that I like to hold sacred for, I guess, more connection to myself. And then when I have more connection to myself, I have a better experience of connecting through my work to others. But I was feeling a little more disconnected and moving outside of that contemplative space where my writing tends to flow best. And not just best as in good or bad, but as in the quality of it. And I don't mean value, I mean its essence is different, and it is more authentic, and it is moving for me. And I find what I actually write, or in tone, sometimes I'm speaking or singing, that quality changes for the receiver as well. It's like I've tuned into not like the rock station, which sometimes maybe, but I tuned into another frequency that is picked up in an entirely different way. It's received in a different way, and I find that it's much deeper. So the quality is different, and like I said, my experience of it, and I isn't that it? Isn't that why we create? Is because it's an inspired compulsion. It is something that if we hold it back, we feel that we are constricted and constrained. And so the only thing to do is to surrender to it and to allow it to come up and out and expand us. And then it reaches others and it's a connection point. So first we're connecting to ourselves and to others, and maybe conversely others first, then to ourselves. It's a call and answer. It's an exchange. And that happens, right? I get to have that experience of that, not just of producing a product and thinking it's going to go in a linear fashion and expecting it to be so. And then I just, you kind of just like expect the life out of it. There is no variation. No, it's actually predictable. And I don't think we want our art to be predictable. We can hold an intention. We can hold a vision. But it's not about prediction. It's about, what is it about? It's not about prediction. It's about creation. It's about opening ourselves up to what will come. And it does. And so when I started playing some other music, I don't know what it is about cello music, but I was playing a song called Sea of You by Anomea and Ellie Miro. And it's a newer track. And I discovered Anomea. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I discovered him, I think it was a year and a half or so ago, and just through different channels than the classical music. In a way it was, but that's another story for another time. And he sort of stuck out in my mind, and I just thought, I'm going to check it out the other day again. And I actually had it on repeat the other day. And this morning I returned to that after I did a bit of singing and I did a bit of, rereading of parts of chapters so I could re-enter the world that that I'm creating right now, and, do some writing. And the music, I'm telling you, like it was like I think it's the intimacy of it, the sound of the cello, and it's sort of like sad, but not in like a, and it makes me actually want to cry. Sometimes I just want to stop and listen, and I can't even create what's going on in my heart and the stories that are being created in my mind. It's literally, I just want to be in it. And that's where you're tapped in to this flow of experience and I think it's not necessarily an emotion. It can create emotion for sure. But it's a sensation. It's sense. It's opening the channels, the senses. And then from there, I have the juiciest experience of creating my work, of writing. And that, I think, shifts the quality. It deepens the quality of the work itself. And then that way it's communicated, not just in words, but vibration to the people who it reaches or who seek it out, who encounter it. So there's this intimacy that is written in, it's woven into the work itself. And I get to experience that. And that is the coolest thing. So I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Some people like to play music when they create their work, And some people don't, and some people like some really loud and, hardcore stuff. And I've done that too. I actually did that when I wrote a few pieces in book 6, and it was all about like being in, this club, and this group of teenagers were playing their music, and the music was hard and like and angsty and like rebellious, and but so I did want to enter that space so that I could write those scenes authentically, because I was feeling the feels. Yet at the same time, I think I could have written that somewhat, even with the entry point of the music I was playing this morning, just because I was open. It just opened to anything, you know, the beauty of angst, even, because all of it's beautiful. And anyway, so when you get to that part, you'll know. There's some Metallica in there. Anyway, so that was a lovely experience, and I just wanted to share that with you. And that's part of my process of exploring the work and entry points to that work, and opening the tap to flow, like just letting go of that linear expectation, but still holding the vision. And the vision will continue to appear. It will just happen. It will just happen. It's like the yogic effort and non-effort, like you put your intention there, you open up, your effort is actually in the opening. And once that happens, like, just try to stop it.